Welcome to Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions Retrospective Series. In this series, I will be tasked with defeating every villain in order, progressing from the core set to the latest release. The catch? I'm only allowed to use cards released up until that point. After defeating the villain, they each will be ranked in terms of their difficulty, determined by the cards available at the time. Thematic matchups, crazy boost effects, and sinister encounter cards await. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes of Marvel Rewind. What's going on, guys? It's Char here, back with another episode of Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions Retrospective Series. Now, in today's episode, we do have another matchup, the next one in the Mad Titan Shadow expansion, where we have the tower defense scenario consisting of Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive up against Spectrum. So let's go ahead, get down to the table, and see how it goes. Okay, so here we're at the table now. I know I'm going to level with you guys here. The setup looks a bit insane, but let's talk through it and then let's go ahead and get to this matchup. So stated in the beginning, we've got Spectrum versus the tower defense scenario. Let's talk through the setup because it can be a bit interesting the first time you're doing it. So since we're playing on Expert, we're playing with Proxima Midnight 2 and 3, and the content is Proxima Midnight, and then also Corvus Glaive, so we can go ahead and get him as well and put him onto the field. So it's also Corvus Glaive 2 and 3, so he'll be here. And then we're going to make the encounter deck, which says it's a tower defense and standard sets, plus Black Order Besieger. So this is tower defense and Black Order Besieger. Now we have the standard and expert set here, along with our obligation. So we'll go ahead and put that all together and shuffle up. Now we're leaving this guy out for a reason you'll see here in a second, but this is essentially the encounter deck right here. So we're shuffling that up, and then we're going to continue with the setup. Because again, it is a bit more interesting than you'd think because it's like a multi-villain scenario. So obviously going through the setup as intended. I know what the ending looks like, but the way it gets there is interesting. So that's that shuffled up. Then it says, next, reveal stage 2A and put it into play next to this stage. So there are two main schemes and two villains in play. So we're going to flip that over. That's Proxima Midnight's scheme. There's no one revealed or anything. So then the second main scheme comes in, which is the Armies of Thanos. When revealed, put the Avengers Tower environment into play, Stronghold side face up. There is a Stronghold side and there's a damage side. Stronghold side goes here. And then it says, put the focus defense attachment into play attached to this stage, which is this here. It's permanent. The villain who matches the attached scheme is the active villain. Force response. After the player phase ends, attach this card to the other main scheme. So it's going to go here. And then it says, each player searches the encounter deck for a copy of the Black Order Besieger and puts it into play, engage with them, shuffle the encounter deck. So then we're going to flip this over because that resolves that. Then we have his main scheme that says when this would be completed, remove all threat, and then deal each player one face-down encounter card. And Proxima says when this stage would be completed, remove all threat, and deal 6 for player damage to Avengers Tower. So that is basically it for the setup. We're playing Spectrum. She has 11 hit points. So let's go ahead and get their hit points out here. So I'm trying to see the best way to do this. I'm trying to make really good use of the space on the table here. So let's put them up here. Let's put Corvus up here. And then I think we can just put their health dials up there. So Proxima has 12 health and Corvus has 11. Cool. And it says Proxima Midnight cannot be defeated while Corvus Glaive has any hit points remaining, and then Corvus Glaive cannot be defeated while Proxima Midnight has any hit points remaining. So we have all of this. We need to put the threat. You know, there's a lot of stuff on the table right now, but we have to get through this setup so that we can actually, play the game. So this is going to go up by 1. It's going to go up by 1. And okay, I think that's everything here. I'm not sure if we start with any damage on Avengers Tower, so 1 second here. Okay, so I just remembered it was one thing that I wasn't a fan of, that it's only in the rule book that tells you how much damage to put. On expert mode, it says put 2 per player damage on the Avengers Tower. As a force response, after damage is placed here, if there's at least 9 player damage here, remove it all, then flip Avenger's Tower over. So it's another lose condition for us, basically. So, okay, I think that's everything set up here. We're just going to shuffle this up. So as a setup, we put all our 3 energy forms just face down. We're just going to shuffle this up here and then get to that cut and get to that winning game as usual here on Marvel Rewind. Excited to play some Spectrum. I feel like it's a hero that I, don't find myself playing a ton of the time. So hopefully we can have a good game here today. Okay, just shuffling. Okay. All right. I think that's that. And then we're just going to go ahead and get to the gameplay. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and draw up our hand here. So we're on aggression today. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cards in our hand. So Spectrum is pretty good all arounder. She does get a lot of stuff out of her, what's it called? She does get a lot of use out of her, energy forms, being able to switch forms and whatnot. So I think it could be pretty good. Now I'm looking at this hand here, and I don't like Wasp, and I don't like Pulsar Shield. I think I want to discard these 2 to try and find a printed fist resource, just so we can get a really big drop kick turn, stun, Proxima Midnight, and just have a really good early tempo. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully we can find one here. If not, we're just going to have to rethink what we're doing. We did find one, which is super good for us. Actually, I guess we can do this and then power, and then 1, 2. I mean, we could keep a Gamma Blast in hand for next turn. Yeah, that's not terrible. Let's just get our hand up and let's get going. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, ton of stuff in our hand here. We're going to spend this double resource here to get down our, I don't know where I actually want to put our forms. I think I'll put them over here. We'll send a double here to get down our martial prowess. So that's pretty good. Now we have an attack resource generator, which is super good to start the game off. We can generate a fist resource for an attack event. And then speaking of, we're going to go ahead and flip up here. And as a force response, we had to choose a face down energy form, flip that card face up, and change to that form. So we have Pulsar, where we can get 2 defense after you change heal and damage. Probably not that. We have our Photon, which is +2 thwart after you change this form, remove 1 threat. Or we have our Gamma form, which says, Spectrum gets +2 attack, and after you switch to this form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. I think we're going to go Gamma here, especially because we're playing a drop kick, and all the Gamma in our hand, I think it's really fitting, and it makes the most sense. We're going to go ahead and deal that 1 damage here to Proxima Midnight. Then we're going to use our basic activation because we technically have 3 attack right here to just swing and defeat the Black Order Besieger. Then we're going to do a Power of Aggression and a Gamma Blast here to play a drop kick. We're going to declare the Power of Aggression. Oh, wait, sorry. It would be, I guess I could keep both Gamma Blasts. We'll just do Power of Aggression and Martial Prowess here. This is going to be 2 physical resources, and this Martial Prowess is the physical resource for a drop kick. We're going to deal 4 damage to an enemy, and if I paid using only fist resources, stun that enemy and draw a card. We're going to deal 4 here to Proxima. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to go ahead and stun her, and we are going to get to draw here. So let's see. We draw into something cool. Ooh, hand cannon. I guess we should have waited on that attack. I think there's no reason not to get this down, even though I was saving the Gamma Blast. I'm going to spend these 2 resources, get down a hand cannon here. It's restricted. It has 3 charges. When your hero makes a basic attack, we can exhaust hand cannon, and we can get overkill for that attack, which is just really, really good in my opinion. Okay, we're just going to ready up here and drop 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have Pulsar Shield, we have our resource generator, so we got some good stuff going on here. Cool. All right, so both of these are going to go up. It's going to go up to 2. This one's going to go up to 2. At the end of the player phase, focus defense is going to move. Force response attached to the other main scheme, which means Proxima is going to activate. Proxima's going to try to activate against us. She cannot. She's stunned. Then we have 1 encounter card to deal with. City under attack, hinder 1. The player who defeats the scheme draws 1 card. This comes in with Crisis. It has 3 threat total because it has 2 threat plus a hinder 1. And that's back to us. Okay. So we know Corvus is gonna attack us this turn. It's kind of unfortunate that there's a crisis here because we do want to clear the city under attack. The problem is when we change to that form, when we change to that form, we kind of like have a threat. We like overkill the threat a bit, but I guess there's really not much we can do. So let's go speed of light here to change into photon form. So here's a hero response. We can remove one threat from a scheme. When we change into this speed of light, let's just change energy forms and draw a card. You're into ready to rumble here. We're just gonna go ahead and thwart off of under attack, city under attack. Then what do we want to do? So we probably want to get a resource gen down here. And then I guess play bug is our best course of action. Maybe ready to rumble's better? No. We have a lot of damage here, but we need some economy as well. So we'll spend these 2 resources here to get down at energy duplication. And then that'll come in ready. And then, yeah, I guess we'll just spend energy duplication and brawn here to play down bug. After your hero makes a basic attack, we can heal and damage from him. Let's just thwart for 1 off of armies of Thanos. And I think we're just going to ready up here. Bug's going to take a consequential. Cool. Going to ready up and draw out 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Wow. We got a lot of things we can do here. We can switch into, we can thwart for 4. We can also switch and drop kick again. And maybe just save the drop kick. I mean, there can be a lot of good things this turn. It's going to go up to 3. It's going to go up to 2. The focus defense is going to move over here. Now Corvus is going to attack us. So it says after Corvus makes an undefended attack, discard the top card of the encounter deck, deal 1 damage to Avenger's Tower. I think we'll just take his attack here. So after he makes an undefended attack. So again, the timing always messes me up on this. I'm just going to say this is his boost card. So that's 2, 3 damage here. 1, 2, 3 going down to 8. And then since he made an undefended attack, it's going to deal 2 damage to the Avenger's Tower here, bringing it to 4 damage. And then we're going to go and reveal an encounter card here. Assault. The villain attacks you. So Corvus is going to hit us again. I think that's fine. He's going to swing for 2. Add the other villain's scheme and attack to this villain's scheme and attack for this activation. Add the other villain's scheme and attack to this villain's scheme and attack. So he's hitting me for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to 3 health. Then we have got another encounter card. That's 2 more damage to Avenger's Tower. So, okay. That was pretty bad, but we're still alive here. And that's back to us. I hope I played that correctly. Okay, so I want to start dealing some damage here, but is it the time? I think so. We want to attack with like 5 attack here. That'd be really good for us. So we have to change the photon energy form in order to do photon speed. I don't think we want thwarting here. I think we want to maybe just flip down against Proxima. Does that mean we should then attack Corvus instead with the drop kick? I think so. So we probably want to do that because I want to flip down and probably end up healing if given the chance. So what we'll do is, this is tough. We need a thwart, that's for sure. So I think for thwarting, what we'll end up doing is we'll spend a, we'll spend a energy duplication and gamma blast here for photon speed. Let's clear 4 off of this one. Then we're going to, oh wait, we can't change forms though. If we don't, that means we'll only have 3 attack. Does changing forms matter? I guess not. Yeah, I thought I had a form change in hand, but I do not. I think that's all right though. We're just gonna swing for 3 here. Let's spend a counter. Swing for 3 on Corvus. 1, 2, 3. Bring him down to 8 health. After we make a basic attack, Bug's gonna heal. Just have Bug thwart for 1 here off of Armies of Thanos. And then we're gonna go ahead and spend Martial Prowess here with this strength for a drop kick. Let's do it to Corvus here. So we are going to deal 4 damage to him and stun. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he will be stunned. And then I think that's, and then we get to draw a card because we used all physical resources or something. Okay, we want to keep the energy duplication for sure. We're just gonna flip down and then ready up here. So we're gonna drop 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ready to rumble a Marvel Boy drop kick. Okay, we got some good stuff in our hand. It's gonna go to 2. It's gonna go to 1. When the player phase ends, this should go over to Proxima. All this is gonna be readied up. Okay, so she's gonna scheme for a base of 1, 2. It's gonna go up to 3 here, and then we have an encounter card to deal with. Exhaustion. Ooh, surge, and exhaust her identity into a surge, into an advance. It's gonna scheme for a base of 1, 3. So this is gonna pop. So when this would be completed, remove all threat and deal 6 per player damage to Avenger's Tower. So this is gonna flip it over because it's going to go up to 12 damage. So it says discard each other Avenger's Tower from play. So now we're over on this side, and if he gets to 9 damage, we lose the game. Okay, that was really unlucky, but I think we'll be okay. We can't heal, so we do need to find a way to flip, I guess, later again, which is really unfortunate. We can't afford to stay down for another turn. So what are we doing then? We need to, so we want to spend, yeah, I think we need to flip up, probably these 2. Okay, let me see if we have everything we need. We're going to flip up here, and I guess we'll go to, do we want to stay in Photon, Pulsar? We can go to Pulsar and just do a small heal. Sure, why not? Let's flip up and go to Pulsar. I was supposed to turn those over when I flipped down, but I forgot to do that. Let's spend these 2 resources here to play down an energy duplication. And that's going to come in ready. So now we have a ton of resources on the board, which should be really good for us. Oh, wait. I should have played the Ready to Rumble beforehand, but I think we're okay. I would also like to play Marvel Boy, but I don't think it's really worth it right now. So let's just do... Oh, wait. We can't actually switch to this form. I just realized we need one of the energy duplications so we can get the kicker on. So we'll actually be at 3. We actually do need to change this form because we need the energy resource from Gamma here. So we'll deal damage to, let's just say, Proxima here. We're down to 6 health. Yeah, okay, that's correct. Now we're gonna spend, yeah, 1 resource. That's a fist because of our energy form, 2 resources, and then Marvel Boy for 3 for drop kick. We're gonna deal 4 damage here to Proxima, and since it's used all physicals, we're going to stun and draw a card. Into Mockingbird. Should be good for keeping them all stunned up, so I think I'll probably just keep her in my hand. And then we'll use our last energy duplication for Ready to Rumble. After you change your form, discard this card to ready your hero, and then we'll just end there and draw up. We're just going to leave Bug up here just in case we need a block. Drop 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, surprise attack. Still no way to change form. All of our, what's it called? Cosmic flights are just not coming out here. What are they called? Speed of light. So we are kind of stuck in the form that we're in, which isn't a bad one to get stuck in because of how much attack we have. Okay, so this is going to go up by 1. It's going to go up to 3. Then at the end of the player phase, well, this should have been first. It'll move over here. So Kor's going to try and activate. He can't because he's stunned. Now we have 1 encounter card to deal with. Black Order Besieger. When he engages you, choose to deal 1 damage to Avenger's Tower or 2 to your identity. We're just going to put 1 damage on the tower here. And that's going to be back to us. Okay. So, what do we want to do? We want to play Hulk. We can't do anything with this surprise attack. We want Bug to help us out as well. So, how do we play this out? We will go... We're going to play Mockingbird here. We're going to use one of our energy duplications on this double to play down Mockingbird. We're going to have Mockingbird go ahead and stun Corvus again. Just keep them all stunned up. It should be cool. We're going to have Spectrum swing for 5 on the Black Order Besieger. I'm trying to think if there's any better way to do what I'm thinking about, but I think the answer is probably no. So yeah, we'll just have Spectrum swing for 5 using one of the hand cannon charges here. So he's going to be defeated, and then we'll do 2 overkill to Corvus here. That's cool. Then we will do... And we do have a surprise attack, I guess. That's going to heal 1 damage from Bug because I use a basic attack. Then what we're going to do is... We can both get them to 1 health, or we can do a bit of thwarting. I think it's going to make... We're going to do Power of Aggression. Or do we actually... I think we'll keep the Power of Aggression, and we'll do energy duplication and... Yeah, surprise attack here to play down Hulk. We're just going to keep them up to block for us. I think we're just going to do a little bit of thwarting, actually. We're going to thwart for... That's just... no, I don't really care about the thwart right now. We're just going to attack for 1 and then attack for 1 on both of them. They're both going to take a consequential, so maybe we can knock them both out next turn. 1 and then 1, and then we'll just ready up here. And then Hulk will just stay up for us just in case we need a block. Cool, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Speed of Light's pretty good here. We can swap to Photon and then maybe swap back into Gamma and like deal some damage, so that could be pretty good for us. It's gonna go up to 4. It's gonna go up to 2. It's going to move over here at the end of the player phase. I keep doing it in the wrong order, but Proxima's going to try and attack us. She can't because she's stunned. We have 1 encounter card to deal with. Bound by Blood. Heal 2 damage from each villain. Give each villain a tough status card. Okay, so it's going to go up. They're both going to be at 3, and they both get a tough, which is an extremely annoying card. Not because they do anything, but it's just like, why are we doing this? I knew it was bound to come up one of these. And I don't really have easy access to piercing, which kind of makes it even more annoying. But that's fine. It's back to us. So I think what we want to do is probably go... I don't have any attack events. Let's just spend both of our energy dupes for photon speed. We're going to change the photon energy form. So that's instantly when we change, we're going to... wait, actually, should we attack beforehand? Probably, right? So hold on. Let's stay in Gamma first. Let's say we'll have Mockingbird swing for 1 to break the tough on Proxima. And then we'll have Spectrum just swing for 3. No, not using the hand cannon. That's going to bring her health points to 0, but she's not defeated. That's going to heal damage from Bug as well. Okay, yeah. Then we're going to play that photon speed like normal, which is going to change us to photon form. You get +2 thwart. After you change this form, remove 1 threat from a scheme, remove 1 from here. And we're also going to trigger Ready to Rumble. After you change form, discard this card to ready my hero. So Spectrum's going to ready here. And then also we're going to remove 4 threat from that one. It's going to resolve the event. Then what we're going to do is, looking at the hand here, we're going to do a Speed of Light to change back into a Gamma form here. After you change the Gamma, deal 1 damage to an enemy. We're going to ping this tough off of Corvus. Then we also get to draw a card. Just surprise attack. I wonder if the timing actually works out on that. Change energy forms and draw a card that I've done 4. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to swing for 3 again on Corvus. That's going to knock both of them out because it says cannot be defeated while Proxima has hit points and Corvus can't be defeated while she has hit points. So they're both going to come in on their final form, stage 3. 14 health over here on Corvus, and how much on Proxima? It is 15 health on Proxima. So there we go. 14 and 15, and then we still have our bug activation here, so we can go. Oh wait, I think Corvus is still stunned here. I'm gonna actually have to double check that because I think I moved it on accident. But that seems about right to me. Now I can get a Quinn carrier down here, or I can get a combat training. It all really just depends. Combat training means I'm swinging for 4, which is pretty good. Quinn carrier means I can play more of my hand. Maybe I'll just keep the Quinn carrier and see if there's any way I can play it next turn. So let's just do power of aggression here to get down combat training. Let's just have bug. Yeah, let's just have him thwart. Let's just clear them both off. It's gonna take consequential. And then we keep these cards in our hand. Sure, why not? Let's just keep them both ready up here. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we can trigger both surprise attacks here if we play a photon speed, which is probably decent. I don't actually know. We can do 8 damage. I mean, that's not bad. All right, that's gonna go to them. Both gonna go up by 1. Sorry, I always forget. At the end of the player phase, this moves. Corvus is gonna try and activate. He cannot. He's stunned. 1 encounter card. The Outrider. When revealed, discard 1 card at random from your hand. So we have 5 cards in our hand. We'll just roll a dice here. We'll do from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's just roll it. 6, of course. 1. Okay, so the top one. Surprise attack is gone. All right, and that's that. Okay, so don't really need any of this stuff. We don't have any more stuns or confuses to save us here, which should be okay. We're just gonna start kind of attacking these villains, I guess. So we're gonna go. We can't do surprise attack or anything like that because we're not changing any forms. Spend these 2 resources plus energy duplication to get down Quinn carrier. That'll be pretty good for us. And we have so many resources we can generate here. I'm trying to think what I would want to do. I could try and flip down, get a heal going, just to really confirm this end game, or try and burst them down. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna swing for. We're gonna use our last hand cannon charge. We're gonna get +2 and overkill. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage into the Outrider. The Outrider is gonna be defeated, and then we're gonna do 4 overkill. Let's just do it in a Proxima here. And then that's that resolved. We'll have surprise attack in hand. That's gonna heal damage from bug. Can have bug go ahead and just have him thwart and then have Mockingbird thwart. So let's clear both of these. Mockingbird's gonna be defeated from consequential. We have Hulk swing here. I feel like things can go really bad if we do. So I think I'm fine with just leaving him on the board for now. We're gonna flip down against Proxima, which I think is fine. We have like all these cards in our hands. So yeah, we're just gonna flip down here. Technically, these are supposed to turn over, and we'll just ready up here. Oh, he should have a consequential on him. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so what? Oh, these are my energy forms. So I'm gonna deck out here and get a encounter card. Just shuffle up and keep this going. All right, let's take a look at our hand. Oh no, our hand is like Blue Marvel, Nick Fury, and a ton of stuff like that. So there is good stuff in this hand coming up for sure. Cool. Okay, that's that shuffled up. Then we'll, yeah, one extra card. And cool, that's to them. So this is going to go over to Proxima. Both going to be at 1 threat. Proxima's going to scheme against us for base of 2. 5. Okay, so that's going to instantly pop it. So we're going to deal 6 damage to Avenger's Tower. So it's going to go up to 7. I think it might. Will it destroy here? Let's see. First one. Black Order Besieger, deal 1 damage or 2 damage to your identity. I think we actually have to take the damage here, so we'll deal 2 to our identity. Proxima Midnight activates against you, so it's going to be a base of 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, we almost instantly lost, yeah, but we did not, and that's back to us. Wow. 5 threat on that is really scary. We've let her pop her scheme a couple times, I guess. We shouldn't be doing that. But that's okay. I think I want to play a Ready to Rumble for sure. So let's do let's spend a Quinn carrier here to get down Ready to Rumble. Let's go ahead and recover by 3, which is a bit low. We're gonna flip up here and go into Gamma form immediately, which says we can deal 1 damage to an enemy. Let's just do it to Corvus here, bring him down to 3. Also, we're gonna spend Art Martial Prowess for surprise attack. After you change form, deal 3 damage to an enemy. 4 instead if you used a fist resource. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 4 to Corvus here. Also, it's gonna trigger our Ready to Rumble. After you change forms, discard this and ready your hero. We've done all that stuff here, which is really good. Then we're just gonna, I guess, keep swinging. So we have, oh, this is not our discard pile. Technically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 attack right now. So I think what we'll do is we'll just swing for 4 onto Proxima. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring her down to 7. What do I want to do? And then that's going to heal 1 from Bug. We do need to keep this threat in check at least slightly, so I kind of want to just keep the speed of light if possible, which I think we can. Spend 2 energy duplications and these 2 resources here to play down Nick Fury. I want him to draw us 3 cards or to thwart. Let's just have him draw us 3 cards here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, photon speed is really good because we need to get that threat down. So let's spend these 2 resources for photon speed. That's going to change us into photon form. So we get to remove 1 threat from a scheme as a response. So it'll go down to 4, and then we also get to remove 4, so it'll drop it immediately down to 0. We'll keep Speed of Light in hand. We'll have Nick Fury swing for 2 on the Black Order Besieger. And then that is that. So we'll leave it and go to the villain's turn. Okay, so we're back. I deal with something real quick. Looks like Nick should have a consequential here. Don't know if I readied Bug up or anything. So we'll just have him thwart for 1 off of this. If that's 1 extra thwarting down, hopefully it's not a big deal, and we'll just ready up here. So let's give him a consequential, and yeah, ready everything up. So end of the player phase, focus defense is going to move from Proxima Midnight over to Corvus Glaive. And we're going to draw up 4 more cards. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so with double speed of light, we should be able to easily get this game in the next turn. So hopefully it works out that way. It's going to go up to 1. It's going to go up to 1. Now, Corvus Glaive is going to attack because it says after Corvus makes an undefended attack, discard the top card of the encounter deck, deal 1 damage to Avenger Tower for each boost icon. We are going to defend it, so we don't need to worry about that. That's just base of 2. 3, 4 damage, loss of control is gone. So Nick Fury is defeated. Now we have 1 encounter card here, which is Black Order Infantry Guard, and then when defeated, give the villain a tough status. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Okay, so it seems like we probably won't get to actually do this. Then we'll have to do a change of plans. Because yeah, I think we're just still stalling here. So what I want to do. We do have 4 attack just straight up. So I think what we can do is we can do a speed of light here. I don't know how this activates against both villains. Just give the villain a tough status card. Maybe it just means the active one. Let's just give it to both. We're going to change energy form and draw a card. So we're going to change to Gamma here. We're going to deal 1 damage to an enemy. Let's do it to... It's not an attack, right? Yeah, it's just deal damage. So it's going to bring him down to 8 health. And we're going to draw a card. We're not going to spend the surprise attack just yet. Okay. Then what we're going to do is... Do we still have it here? Maybe. We're going to do... swing for 4 because we have 3 attack plus 1 from combat training on the Black Order Infantry. That's going to give the villain a tough status. Again, I don't think it applies to both, but let's just give it to both. Okay. Then we want to... that's going to heal damage from Bug. And then what we want to do is probably swing with Bug to break Proxima's tough here. You will go... We'll spend a speed of light. Let's go back. Let's actually go into Pulsar form to just heal 1 damage, and then we draw a card. A genius. So then what we're gonna do, yeah, this should work out pretty well. So I think we want to do a Quinn Carrier here to get down Ready to Rumble. After you change form, discard this card and ready your hero. Just need to make sure I have everything in my hand that I have to play. I think that's correct. So we're in Pulsar here. So we're going to do Gamma Blast here. That's going to change us to Gamma Energy form and deal 7 damage to an enemy. So let's use Martial Prowess here along with... Oh wait, not Martial Prowess. Let's use our Energy Duplication along with this double to play Gamma Blast. So we're going to change the Gamma Energy form. So there's a couple things and deal 7 damage to an enemy. So after you change this energy form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. We're going to break this tough. We're also going to end up dealing 7 damage to Proxima here, bringing her down to 0. But then, since we change forms, it allows us to trigger our surprise attack in hand for Martial Prowess, which says, after you change to form, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 4 instead of use a fist resource. Martial Prowess generates a fist. We're dealing 4 to Corvus here, bringing him down to 4 health. Also, since we change form, we can discard Ready to Rumble. After you change form, discard this card to ready your hero to ready Spectrum. And then... we just swing for game here with 1, 2, 3, 4 damage onto Corvus, bringing him from 4 down to 0. Now that was an awesome game and such an awesome ending. Something sad that something interrupted us right before we got to do that awesome end game turn. Wow, that was really cool. Just being able to flip, change forms, use all our resource generators, change forms with our events. Ready to Rumble is such an awesome card for form changing heroes. Surprise attack also. And let's see, just for fun, if Hulk were to swing, what would have happened here? We would have hit a Science, which would have discarded him. So probably a good idea. We didn't. We also had Brawn in hand. Wow, that was a ton of fun. Yeah, I don't really know, what else to really say about that. That was such a good time. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to the deck list. Okay, so here we are down at the table now. I got to revisit Spectrum today, which I think is the first time since I went through and played every hero for the first time, and wow, that was a ton of fun. So I think when you're first going through Marvel Champions, obviously the thing that you gravitate towards are heroes or archetypes from like the movies or the comics, things you're really like a fan of, and you're like, man, I can't wait to play this specific hero. I'm gonna love how they play, regardless if it actually turns out that way or not. Spectrum was one of those heroes which I don't think is an unpopular opinion that I had the opposite kind of, anticipation for. When I saw the heroes of the Mad Titan Shadow box, I was like, Adam Warlock, oh, that's cool, I kind of know him. And then I saw Spectrum, I'm like, I have no idea who this is. That might be sacrilegious to, like the comic book readers out there, but I think it was, I think she was out in the Marvels, maybe from the MCU side of things. But other than that, I had never heard of this character. I don't think I'd ever seen this character before. So obviously when I first played her, I was like, well, I didn't think she was weak or anything, but I was like, okay, that was fine. But I'd rather insert another hero here. Let's say if I want to play leadership, why don't I just play Captain America? I know who Captain America is and he's really cool. This is a long-winded way of saying coming back to her, wow, this was a ton of fun. And I think we're at the point in the card pool where you can start making some really powerful decks. Like, I feel like you could bring a deck very similar to this to like a 2-player game, even like maybe a 4-player game, and you would just have such a fun time. You'd be able to manage threats on the board, maybe help some people out. I think that we're getting to the point where the power level of these decks are just really, really high, and you're able just to do really great things. This isn't even like Hone Technique Dive Bomb, which when that comes out, you would definitely be able to do this because she is constantly aerial. So let's go ahead and talk about Spectrum specifically. So Spectrum's whole gimmick revolves around her 3 forms that she could swap into. She has Gamma, she has Pulsar, and she has Photon. In all of her forms, she gets +2 to the specified stat. So either in Gamma, she gets +2 attack, Photon +2 thwart, or Pulsar +2 defense. The fact that she can get 3 attack or 3 thwart basically at will, I'll put a bit of an asterisk or quotations around that because her form changing can be a bit awkward compared to other heroes. But for the most part, she can usually manage to get around in forms that she wants to, and 3 thwart is super valuable, especially in solo. 3 attack is really good, especially if you're doing ready builds, and this deck tries to do a little bit of everything, kind of what you need to when you're playing in solo. She's able to switch her forms by using any of her events or playing Speed of Light, which is a 0-cost event that says change energy forms and draw a card. So essentially, it's a 0-cost event that says either heal yourself by 1, either deal 1 damage to an enemy, or remove 1 threat from a scheme. Then she has other ways, which is her normal events, which changes her form. And she also has 2 2-cost resource generators, which means she's pretty rich once she gets going. Being able to just have something like a Thor or like a Captain America, just having 2 resource generators that generates the resource based on her form. So she can kind of hit requirements with a little bit of finesse and like planning and deck building. She can hit requirements for specific cards that may be hard for other heroes in the game to guarantee. Going on to the deck list in specific, we're on our 3 basic energy resources and the 2 aggression doubles. These cards are just extremely good. Again, even though our limited pool is building out as the series goes along, they're just really great at keeping our economy up and keeping us playing allies. Going to the basic package, we're still on these classic core box allies. There's not a ton of steady in the game as of yet, or stalwart. Mockingbird just buys us basically a free turn, and Nick Fury is just super good for an early game tempo play, even though we didn't see him until the end of the deck pass. For our supports, we're on a Quinn Carrier and an Avengers Mansion. This could be Helicarrier and it would be just the same. I don't know if it drops like the number of packs required for the deck, but Quinn Carrier is just such a good piece of support for Avengers heroes that I included in basically every deck that I can. You're just play only for your identity as an Avengers trait. You can exhaust it to generate a wild resource, which is so versatile. You can hit so many kickers on certain cards. You can hit, there's just so much you can do with that wild resource. And then Avengers Mansion is a classic. And then we're on our upgrades here. This is a new upgrade that debuted in the Mad Titan Shadow, which is Ready to Rumble, which is play under any player's control, which has some versatility in multiplayer. Max 1 per player. Hero response. After you change form, discard this card, ready your hero. This is just really good for form changing heroes, specifically like Ant-Man, Wasp, Angel, and things like that, where when you change form, not necessarily alter ego to hero form, but also your energy forms count as forms in themselves. You're able to get readies off of them, and it's really good. And it's just a 1-cost ready. Limitless Stamina is also a very good card that's restricted to only 14 HP heroes. This one is restricted mostly to heroes who have form cards or like triple-sided heroes, but you can play it in any hero, even though it's a bit of a slower tempo because you have to be going from alter ego to hero mode, but it can get you a ready after a heal or whatnot. Then we're on 1 Death Focus here, which is exhaust Death Focus, reduce the resource cost of the next superpower you play by 1. This is not a bad card in this deck. All of her events, which are really good, which I didn't get to talk about, but she has like swinging web kick, basically. It's 3 for 7, not 8. She has, 2 for 4 in thwarting. She just has a ton of events that are just super good, and she can get a discount on a lot of them. She can also discount her resource generator energy duplication. So it's just discounts on discounts to keep her economy going. So it's a good one. We didn't get it to the table, but I know it is good. Let's go ahead and move on to the aggression side of the package here. So we're on a ton of allies. We're in solo, so it just makes sense to have options rather than not have them. To be fair, we only even considered playing like 3 out of the 6 here, so I'm sure you could drop them and be fine. We're on Wasp here. She's an aerial Avenger. She gets +1 hit point for each Pim counter on her. You place 1 Pim counter on her for each lightning bolt resource you spend, and she can have a max of 3 health. So she can do three costs for 9 damage over 3 turns. Pretty good. Hulk is kind of like our meat shield, but we can swing with him if we're in a pinch because he has 3 attack, but mostly he's 2 costs with 5 health. Marvel Boy was an interesting tech for this scenario specifically because when he attacks, he can spend a fist resource and it'll gain piercing and ranged. As you saw, there's a couple ways for them to get tough statuses, so that's just a way to pierce through them. We've got Bug here, which, you know, the more I play in these limited formats, the more I'm a fan of this card. I love that if you're just always only using your basic activation to attack on your hero, Bug is just there constantly either pinging toughs off, thwarting for 1 to keep like the main in check in solo. I'm a really big fan of this card. It's almost like he's a support for aggression heroes to just give them that extra bump to their thwarting. Spider-Girl was here in case we got any minion that we couldn't deal with, but a lot of the minions in this one were really low health. And Brawn was another fun inclusion because we have some Gamma stuff going on with our energy form. We've got Hulk. He's 3 costs with 5 health, and as a response, whenever he attacks, he can remove 1 threat from a scheme, which is really good because he could be a 3 cost for 5 attack and 5 thwarting if you use every single one of his activations. So that's really good. We weren't really playing that long game in general, so that didn't really come up, but it was there just in case. Here we have our 2 cost upgrade. Combat training gives us +1 attack in addition to the Gamma that can bring Spectrum up to 4 attack. We have Readies off of Ready to Rumble. You can swing for 4, swing for 4 again. Martial Prowess is just an extremely good 2 cost resource generator for attack events. Just lets us keep churning out these events and keep the economy going. Hand Cannon here. I thought this would be an interesting inclusion because, okay, we're up to 4 attack. This is 6 and overkill. I knew there was a couple minions in the scenario, so we could be really optimal with kind of our hand cannon uses and really bleed that damage over to the villain, which we were able to do a couple times in that game. So it was really cool and really fun. And then to round out the deck list here, I think we're on like 43 cards or something. It doesn't have to be exactly 40 because I thought this deck was pretty good. It could probably cut some allies if needed. But on our last ones, we're on 3 surprise attack. I think these debuted with either Ant-Man or Wasp. After you change form, deal 3 damage to an enemy. 4 instead if you use the fist resource. Monica has like no shortage of fist resources to spend for this kicker, and she is constantly changing forms between Gamma, Pulsar, and as you saw in that last turn where, yeah, it's just extremely efficient event. 1 cost for 4 damage is just extremely good and really helps you close out those games. And then as finally, kind of like the highlight of decks like this, we are on Drop Kick. 4 damage to an enemy. If you use only fist resources, you stun them and draw a card. As you saw, we were essentially stun locking them the entire game to kind of make it a breeze. We did get pretty close on the Avengers Tower damage. I'm not going to discount that, but yeah, especially when there's no steady or stalwart, and in solo specifically, Dropkick is just extremely good and really got us to that win. So that is that, you know, everything, all things being considered. Let's go ahead and see where tower defense stacks up with the rest of heroes in Marvel Champions. Okay, so here we are at the end of the episode as always. Now let's talk tower defense. So playing through that, Monica kind of stomped them, I'm not going to lie. It was a first try attempt, and even though there might have been a couple misplays here or there, I think the strength of the deck for itself showed in general. Yeah, it wasn't really a challenge, but let's talk about tower defense more explicitly. So I think this is a scenario where they were still kind of gaining their footing on how much they wanted to put effort into like maybe the campaign mechanics versus solo and standalone play. I think in terms of part of the Mad Titan Shadow campaign, thematically, I really love tower defense as a scenario. It's like, oh, Avengers Tower is getting attacked. There's this alternate lose condition that you kind of have to protect it from all this damage. And yeah, I think that's really cool. The problem is there really is no way for you to lose through the tower unless you're just playing poorly or risky or just making choices that don't make a ton of sense. What I mean by that is like the ways that it puts damage on Avengers Tower are almost always optional. There's a couple minions who come in that say either take damage or identity or deal damage to the tower. Both Proxima and Corvus's activation abilities both deal with putting damage on Avengers Tower and whatnot. And yeah, I was just making sure here. Yeah, like Corvus, he adds attack. He adds damage to Avengers Tower, and what Proxima does is you can either choose to give her extra attack or put damage on Avengers Tower. I don't know if Proxima ever did an attack activation, which is why I had to kind of read it and refresh myself there. So yeah, it's really like your choice on how much damage you do on the tower, and you know, the schemes kind of like hinder that in a way. Proxima's put 6 for player damage on the tower, which is a ton of damage, don't get me wrong, but also you can just make sure that one doesn't thread out unless you're in solo like I was, and she gets an advance, you flip down and also almost double completes her scheme. That's really scary. But for something, I think Corvus's main scheme card gives you an extra encounter card, which is almost nothing, because in my opinion the encounter cards in this scenario aren't that scary. So what we have is a scenario where you can't really lose by threading out. Like, you kind of can through the Avengers tower damage mechanic, but it's not super consistent. They do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but they're extremely susceptible to stun and confuse, similar to their Ebony Maw brethren, one of the other children of the Black Order or whatever they're called. So yes, they all have that similar pitfall, and I think honestly they probably are a bit more difficult than he is, just because they have a bit higher stats on average. He has 2 main schemes, whereas they have 1. And even though their threat thresholds are low and they will pop, they don't lose you the game, but they aren't good to have pop anyways. Yeah, it's a fun scenario. I just think that there needs to be a way for them to put more pressure on the tower, almost like a timing scenario on expert, rather than, oh, on expert you just add 2 damage at the beginning of the scenario, which is basically nothing. That being said, it is a fun scenario. I don't know if that's because it's easy or because the mechanic is cool. I think the mechanic is almost there. I like how the active villain counter moves around with this like card, the focus defense. I think it's really cool, but I don't think it's the most difficult thing in the world. If I had to think about it conceptually, maybe it's at the top of C tier or the bottom of B tier. I think it did end up on the bottom of C, but that was just because I left it there on accident. I think maybe bottom of D tier. I don't actually know. No, I think it has to go here. It's almost like a Rhino in a way, where you flip down and it's really scary because you can kind of like lose the game, but it's less damaging than Rhino is because it doesn't instantly lose the game when you flip in advance. You're actually able to just kind of stabilize. It is a bit annoying having to deal with toughs and attacking 2 of them, which is why I'd probably put them above. But I'd say maybe they're slightly harder than Ebony Maw, but I can't even see it being like Drang or Taskmaster tier, so I'll probably leave it at C. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment sections down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and of course we're going to continue on through this box, the next one being the Mad Titan himself. A bit excited and scared for that one because Expert Thanos is no joke at all. I don't expect this to be a one and done like basically the past 2 recordings have been. So I hope you guys are, on the lookout for that and ready and prepared when that comes. Leave a like down below if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself. Have a good one. Goodbye.